All right, well, I guess it comes out perfectly for me to make a part 2, because I'll talk about like basically the consciousness part. But you know, you're gonna run into people in your life, and really having this mentality, like I said, leaves room for no judgment. Is basically knowing that everything that you're experiencing outside of you is an extension of you to some extent. If somebody is going through certain things or whatnot, those are dormant pieces. See, we have junk DNA. Those are the junk DNAs. That's how I said, like, you're a if you open energy vortexes, those are energy vortexes that are available for people to access. All right, but you have to turn people on. You have to have people interested in you. All right, and this is where you start to, you know, put your energy out, put your things out. All right. Sometimes maybe the way somebody presents something may be a way where other people may not understand it, but you'll dumb it down. It's like Brother Panic always said this. Brother Panic says that these books make things very, very complex, but he niggers it down, meaning that he makes it a lot more easier for the average person to understand what it is that the books are saying. That's what the points of his lectures are. Okay. So there may be a way that I'm presenting something that may be impactful, and it'll make a lot of sense to you because I'll use certain analogies or I'll present it a certain way. You get what I'm saying? And I'm sure that everybody that you know, we have a little circle going on here. Everybody does that. You got guys like Fire Drake, the Mind Jinn, Zen. You got all these people who will present things a certain way that caters to certain people, and certain people will understand it a lot better. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes maybe the way I speak on things, maybe some people don't understand it. Or maybe the way I'm presenting it, they may not like it. You get what I'm saying? You know, but then again, that all comes down to knowing yourself, because the information is what has to resonate with you. Get past the filters, okay? And just get to the source of what you're listening to. And if it doesn't resonate with you, you have the option to always click off. That's the beauty part of it, okay? That's how powerful you are. You could just click. Snap of a finger or snap of a tongue. Okay? Yeah, I'm doing my own thing. I do the snap of a tongue, not the snap of a finger. But the same way you could click. Next video, and that's it. Look how easy things are. But instead, no, you go there and you start putting emotions into it. Why? Right? So here's the thing, okay? Let's say, for example, I come across somebody, okay? And they don't seem to know as much as I know. So I become so egotistical. I'm like, I can't build up, you know, I can't build with this person. This person's too far behind me. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Or he's still in that level that I was in like 3 years ago, right? But not knowing that that person may have access to something that you need to level up on your projects that you have that started from your projections, right? Or that person may know somebody that might be as even more advanced than you are, or may have more powers that you believe, that he could have linked you up with that person based on a conversation that you may have had. Because where would the curiosity or the conversation may have started from the person that you originally interacted with? You get what I'm saying? That person may be talking about something just because they know somebody that might be into it, and they got the hint that you know something, and they're talking about it to you or whatnot. I'm just throwing examples, all right? But just think of it like this. There's always some, you never heard of, I know somebody who knows people, or I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. They got me there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be the direct source, but we always look for the direct source. So that person may know somebody with the resources to get you there. You never know. That person may be somebody who will be more loyal to you than somebody who does have a better conversation with you than, you know what I mean? And that person may be more loyal to you to get you even further in life. You never know. These are just things to think about. You get what I'm saying? And that's why it's good to interact with different kinds of people, right? But have your vessel clear so that your intuition tells you if it's favorable for you or not favorable for you. And you got to also think about why these people come into your life. Why do these? Because don't forget, your vibe attracts your tribe. You're like a big antenna. You're putting out a frequency, all right? And you're getting back something. Now, the universe is always working in your favor. The law of attraction is working for you. All right. So things may come into your life in ways that you didn't even know they might come into your life. All right. It may be through certain people that will trigger you. And those are the people that have what you need to answer what you've been asking the universe for. Because if you want to see, this is the problem, is that people look at the universe as another heaven in the sky, the same way religious people look at heaven in the sky. If you look at the universe is all around you. People are the universe. You are the universe. All this outside of you is you. If you really if you look, whatever you want to look at, let's say if you're at the top of a mountain and you're looking at the vast scenery, it's so far away, everything, all you need to do is this. Close your eyes and you just took all that in with the snap of a tongue. Not the snap of a finger, but the snap of a tongue. All that just came in. It's the same way everything looks so far-fetched. We look at planets, right? And this is where and there's the thing. I met one person, I'm gonna finish what I'm saying, then I'm gonna talk about the one person I met that kind of got me interested in even talking about something I'm gonna talk about now. It just came to me too. But and it's good to keep your ego in check, because your ego is what's in your way. It's you versus you. So the fact that you didn't keep your ego in check, or you're not riding this dragon, all right, you just fucked yourself up, because whatever the universe was bringing to you, which is basically you bringing it to you, it's also putting it with a baggage of a test, and then you fail that test, and you also fucked up the opportunity to level up on whatever projects you may have had or whatever goals you wanted to reach. That's why it's good to be open-minded, but also be kind to your neighbor, I guess. You get what I'm saying? You just never know. You never know, man. It's just what it is. You see, people talk about this vortex, like I mentioned in my previous video, the vortex. All right, people are addicted to fear. Also, people talk about they want to go into the high frequencies, but fear is addictive. That's why they watch scary movies. This is why they go into haunted houses. This is why certain things, an adrenaline rush. Certain people are living certain ways because they don't know that they're addicted to pain. They're addicted to all that. That's why they live with anxiety, but they're just not aware that they are addicted to it without knowing that they're addicted to it. When you get to those higher frequencies, the euphoria, the bliss, all that's addictive as well. And it's blinding. It'll have you doing things that you shouldn't be doing because you're so blinded by that emotion. All right? And it's consuming you. So that neutral, being in the middle, people don't look at it as something good, but in the middle, that's the God mode. Don't look at the vortex like this. Look at the vortex like this. All right? One could be on my left hand. The other one could be on my right hand, depending on the positioning that I'm looking at it from. That's why I say my point of view may not be your point of view. But it's never always going to be a mirror. When you look in the mirror, you raise your right hand. It looks like you're raising your left hand. Right? In the mirror. If you really want to look at yourself clearly, you looks like you're raising your left hand when you're really raising your right hand. It's not always a direct mirror image. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to keep your ego in check. Now, going back to certain people I meet, like my friend, I met a guy who's real cool, man. And one thing he told me is, we're getting into conversation, and he told me, he was like, man, because we're talking and I'm we're talking, we're building, and he sees that he tells me, he's like, bro, like the stuff is kind of like I gotta do study. I gotta study for like the next 10 years to really get to know all that. And that kind of sparked something in me, because I'm like, you know what, man, you really don't. I mean, it's good to study. But the thing is, don't go into people go into rabbit holes. Like, they start to look at religion. If you look at your own religion and you go into your own rabbit hole, if you come out of that bubble, you'll see that there's many other religions that are really talking about the same shit. And it kind of looks like so much going on that you have to go into, but it's all really the same shit. You know what? I'm going to give you a good example. I went into GNC when I first started working, first getting in there. So many damn supplements, so many damn herbs, I'm like, how am I supposed to sell all that? I don't even know. I got to learn all this. When all you got to do is learn the basic ingredients. Let's say there's a branched chain amino acid, there's a pre, intra, and post. The pre-workout is basically always going to be caffeine, citrulline, beta-alanine, which is basically your caffeine for the energy, beta-alanine, citrulline for pump, all right? And then your nootropic blend for focus. That's it. Learn those basic things, and it's in pretty much every other brand of pre-workout that you'll see. Just in different strains, but the same shit. If you know what citrulline is, you know how it works. All right? Arginine. All these little aminos that you have to just know the basics of. If you learn the basics of, protein, there's different strains of protein. Casein, whey, hydroisolates, hydrolyzed. There's concentrate. There's carnivore, which is beef protein. Then there's vegan protein. Learn the basic proteins. That's your post workouts, right? But once you know each little individual strain and know the basics of the protein, you'll already know that you just need the protein for repair. That's post workout. right? And most of the time, the customer knows what they want. And then basically, when you look at intra, your branched chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, valine, and then you have your hydration formula. Just know the basics of the branched chain amino acids, and then there's like 100 different brands. You'll know how to sell each brand just because you know what branched chain amino acids are, what the isoleucine, leucine, and valine do. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically, you'll have a bunch of books, but they're all talking about the same thing, just presented differently based on the author. And one author may have left something out, the other author is covering it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it's good to, but don't get lost in it. You know what I'm saying? All this is within you. You know what I'm saying? All this is within you. It's good to access this knowledge as a tool, as a guide, as a blueprint for you. But all this is within you. And when you get discouraged spending, they say 10 years looking outside of you to learn all this information, those are 10 years that you wasted going outside of yourself when you didn't balance it, really putting it within. And when you acquire that knowledge, let's say, that knowledge needs that wisdom, the experiments, the experiences to really say, I have the wisdom of that, to actually know about it. And then certain things you may even experience. All right, you'll experience certain things that you didn't even look into. Let's say you had access to an energy that you didn't even know what it was, and then you went and researched it, and it is actually something that actually exists. That's about as authentic of a discovery that you can have. And then from there, I mean, those are the experiments, those are the experiences. But when you're doing the work, that's when these things start coming up. And then when you're cleaning your house, you'll start to know and see things a little bit differently, because now you're cleaning your house, you're cleaning your space, basically. All right? As within, so without. And then from there, if you want to, because you can have a party. See, you're not here suppressed. It's like me, for example, when I'm talking to this guy, he's telling me he goes to church, right? So what if I told him, bro, but in order for you to be on this journey, you can't go to church. You can't do. Me telling him that would be me having a religious mindset about this shit as well. And I told him, this is not a religion. This is not a religion. This is basically just knowing what you are and who you are here. You're playing this game. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I can't eat meat. That's religious. I can't, don't go to church. That's religious. I've been invited to, there's a very religious state. I've been invited to church. I haven't gone because I don't want to go, but it's not because I'm not going because it's like, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in God. No, that's an energy that all these people are praying to. If I wanted to gain all this energy, I'll go in there and just take all that energy. And you know what? I'm like a vampire. If you invite me to church, it's the same way. I'm not going to go into somebody's house unless you invite me. I'm sure nobody does that, right? But if I'm going to church, then I might as well, use that energy to my advantage, right? I just haven't had the need to do that. But one thing I could tell you is this, know yourself, know your power. And then you'll know that all this, like I mentioned with the planets seem so far away. The sun, 93 million miles away. We all sun gaze, right? And what do? The moment you blink your eye, you took that sun into you. It's already, you just ate it. You ate the sun. You're receiving information. The same way you eat food, you digest the food, you digest the sun, right? You digest the moon, you digest all these planets. There's no actual planets of pictures of the planets on the computer. It's all CGI, right? So why not worry about things that you can control? There's certain things. You're never going to physically go to the moon or go to the sun, but we spend our time trying to figure out how that happens, because that's where they steer the herd-like mentality into, these conspiracy theory videos. Right? Was the moon landing fake? Was it? Who cares? Are you going to physically go to the moon one day in your life? No. But you can access it in other ways. Your chakras, all right, are co-governed by planets. These are the first things we start to learn on when we get into spirituality. And then your organs, your organs are co-governed by the chakras, and the chakras are co-governed by the planets. And then it's all within you. All this is what you project out. And then there's systems in common, which are the people, right? This is how you manage your ego out here like that. But know that everybody out here is basically an extension of you. You have access to energies, experiences, vortexes, resources through other people. And they may have things that, you may have things that they need. And then this is how the law of reciprocity works. You get what I'm saying? And then, they talk about the watchers and If you look at the word spectacle, spectator, like I said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You're spectating something. Something looks spectacular to you because it looks beautiful to you, because the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? But notice how, you have observers. Observers are basically observing, taking notice of something, but then you have a watcher, right? You got to know which one are you. Which one of the three? It's like, are you just watching? Are you observing? Are you a spectator? Is something spectacular to you? You know what I mean? The experience or the experiment, right? Like I mentioned in my previous video, you could see where the herd-like mentality is going, all right? Where all that attention, you see all the people all going there, just like a herd of sheep, right? Are you part of that? Or do you do your own thing and just observe? You get what I'm saying? Just observe. Sometimes I may send a message to somebody. I may talk to somebody a certain way. I may ask a question a certain way. I may be doing an experiment just to see what happens. How does that person react? Because I notice everybody's an extension of me. I want to see what they do. Hey, it's like you're having fun out here. It's a game, right? The fight game, the game of life, right? Mixed martial arts. Life is a game, but we want to play the game. We want to be, and this is why another thing that Brother Panic said is not to be childish, is to be childlike. You get what I'm saying? But childlike, if you observe the child, like I'm walking around, sometimes I'm in a bad mood, and my son I've never seen my son in a bad mood since he was born. He's always jumping, happy, playing, doing something. He's never bored. You know what I'm saying? And then there's sometimes where I may have had a bad day or something. I'm human. It happens. And then all of a sudden my son looks at me. He's like, "Papa, what happened? Be happy." It's like he's my best teacher. He's a reminder. I guide him with love, right? With love. He's my creation. I brought him here, so I'm not just gonna be because it's all about you. But you have to make sure that if you're feeling fulfilled inside, you can pass a wealth of generational wealth to the youngling that you brought into the world. My dog, I could be going to the store. I'll leave the house for 10 minutes. I come out to make this video for 10 minutes. My dog's in the house. I'll come back inside. He greets me as if he hasn't seen me for weeks. You know what I'm saying? All these little things are attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? Why are people, so distracted? You get what I'm saying? So distracted. But then again, when you have these questions, this is why, like I'm making this video inspired by certain things I'm seeing. You get what I'm saying? But then you got to keep in mind these questions that may come up for you. You have to start to ask yourself, right? Why do these questions come up for you? You know what I'm saying? Not because the first thing people do when these questions come up, and then you become egotistical and see the state of being that you're in, you start to criticize. You're really going backwards instead of going forward. Instead of getting to a better place or elevating or basically leveling up, you're leveling down doing that. See, because you think you're in a certain state of being, and then you see others in a lower state of being, instead of just asking yourself first, why did this come up first for me? Why did this question come up? Why do I see people like this? Because that's where you start to really go back and say, I see this question popped up because this is what I see about myself first. Before you go and criticize it and put it out, throwing the mud at everybody and pretty much spilling all that shit out and just, it's kind of like toxic. It's like dirtying the waters, polluting the waters. So nothing is far-fetched. This information, it's easily gained if you just activate your DNA. When you activate your DNA, you turn yourself on, you're going to start to turn other people on. You get what I'm saying? But it has to start with you first. You have to turn yourself on first. Turn yourself on, right? You basically create, energy vortexes that are going to be available for people. You know what I'm saying? And then people are going to, who is meant to see it, will see it. Those people are going to come. Those people are going to come. You know what I mean? But if your energy is more focused on those people coming rather than you having your energy open for allowing. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference between, being after something coming or if you're just open to allow. You get what I'm saying? And love, for example, people don't understand love because love, they think and they attach to something. Love is really detaching. You let go. Right? You learn to love that way. You know, the people who cling on to life, they cling on to certain things. Sometimes you got to learn how to let go. You got to learn how to die. And then you can live life to the fullest. How are you going to learn to live life to the fullest? One needs the other. So if you learn to die, you can live life to the fullest. That's all I have. Talk soon.